Coming to you from the floor of the 2019 SVG Summit, Brandon Costa here with you from Sports Video Group. Have the pleasure now to be joined by a very good friend of SVG. From ESPN, Amy Rosenfield. Amy, always a pleasure to see you. How you doing?
I thought I was the best friend of SVG. I did not realize I was.
A couple of people around right now. I don't want them to hear, but yes, you're number one. You're number one right here.
Thank you.
Well, you were heavily involved this year in the launch of the ACC Network, one of the biggest projects that was going on at ESPN. You've been involved in many, many big projects in your career, including World Cups, some of the biggest sports television productions in history. Where does this project rank for you as far as uniqueness? What stood out about you about getting the chance to be a part of this thing?
Well, I can really assess the events that I've worked on based on where my blood pressure exceeds. So
Fair.
I would say that this one probably, peaked in terms of blood pressure heights. Honestly, there are not a lot of people who get to say they launched a network, so I feel really lucky to be part of that team that did that, and especially the place where at ESPN, where we were reliant on a bunch of folks who had launched networks before, specifically these college networks. But this was pretty special because there were two moments that really stood out for me. One was at launch. As longtime producers, you sit in a truck or you sit in a control room and the show that's on before you, you're sort of watching that, getting ready to come on. Yeah. Well, for us, the screen was black. We were literally
staring into the abyss.
Yeah, great use of abyss. So that was a pretty cool moment to actually be black and then come on. And then like every day in my office, I have the network on and I look at it and I'm like, wow, here is a whole network with a bottom line and animations and talent we picked out. So it's pretty cool because there was a small group that really touched every part of the network. And I really relied on a lot of lessons from like a World Cup, where it's so multifaceted, but this brought it to a new level.
Yeah, it's been an incredible accomplishment. It's a lot of fun to watch. I usually pop it on in the morning, watch some Packer and Durham.
Nice, good. You like the dogs?
I love that little set that you guys built literally in one of the guys' houses. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I have to say, we had really set as a mandate for the network that we would be kind of tech forward and really be experimental in innovation. So Packer and Durham is a great example. That is the first time that ESPN has ever installed a multi-camera, remote-operated setup installation in a talent's house. Yeah. And it was challenging, and there were some stressful days, but you need to really have cooperative talent. Mark Packer and his wife are phenomenal. We had a satellite truck parked in their driveway for 2 weeks that we hadn't expected. But yeah, those are, that's a good example of, we had a problem that we needed a solution. We needed a place for Mark to be able to do his work and not have to drive anywhere because he does a serious show from the house. So we said, you know what, let's build it in his house.
It's very cool. Yeah, it's interesting to get the perspective because, we've done a lot of coverage at SVG on the work that's being done on the school front.
Yeah.
Gorgeous facilities being built on campuses around the ACC. That's one pillar of it. And then there's you guys. You built a gorgeous studio up in Bristol. The live events team is in Charlotte. There's kind of two big prongs working together here. How do you guys balancing that back and forth between, all right, schools are producing this, we're in charge of this? How have you kind of built up the ESPN side of the programming?
I really feel like the partnership, and it truly is a partnership with the schools, what's been great is not just the ability to utilize their facilities and partner in the production of the live events. On the content side, we are also in a full partnership. We use our media bank server to sort of aggregate it all. And we've always said, what better way to be authentic to the ACC than having students or recent graduates producing content from their campuses. So that it is a lot, again, like a World Cup, because we would have some folks in Brazil or South Africa and some people back in Bristol. So the goal is to make it just feel like a cohesive one unit. And we spend a lot of time on the school campuses because we really want them to feel that they are just an extension of all of us.
So as you look ahead to 2020, obviously you're going to be getting right into the heat of ACC basketball season, so I'm sure things are going to get a little wacky. But when you look ahead to 2020, is there anything that you guys have left up your sleeves that you're looking forward to as far as taking the ACC to the next level, the ACC Network, sorry?
I think that well, first of all, a lot of the talent will be new.
Okay.
And so for every sport, we have existing pool of talent, but there's so much volume that each sport we're going to have to add to that. And we're really trying, again, to be authentic to the ACC and try to get on-air talent who've come from the schools. Sure. So that will be new. So everything is kind of new this year.
I would say so.
Speaking on the tech front, we are going to try to continue to extend our reach in technology. So, for example, we just used MediaPro's OmniCam on a men's college basketball game. Had not been done before. We've been using them on our Prime football package. So that was pretty cool to sort of integrate them into the U.S., and we want to expand that relationship. Our partnership with Ross Piero, we're going to end up doing installations at all the schools so that we have this advanced telestration and graphics that will probably do a soft launch in the spring with a strong look to the fall. We're going to expand the soccer goalpost cams.
Love it, yeah.
So we started with 5 schools. We're probably going to add another 3 moving forward. And then, we're sort of going to take a look at lacrosse and figure out what cool cameras could we maybe add. Lacrosse is another one where I think there's a way to expand an audience appreciation of that sport with maybe some additional cameras.
All right, Amy. Well, it's always a pleasure to get the chance to talk to you. Congratulations on everything with the ACC Network so far, and best of luck next year.
Thank you, buddy.
All right. For everything else going on here at the 2019 SVG Summit, including a look at their session from the main stage talking about the ACC Network, you can visit us online now at sportsvideo.org.